Greetings and welcome to No Nonsense Metal Reviews with me, George. This is the fourth instalment of bands you need to hear. Bands that I've recently discovered or have known about for a while, but maybe aren't as big as, the greats of these genres, but certainly acts that I think you need to check out. It's worth your time. So today's band you need to hear, they hail from Barcelona, Spain. Speed metal. I say speed metal. I don't really like the term speed metal, but they're a speed metal band. I always think speed metal is just a banner term for bands that don't comfortably fit into thrash or heavy metal. They're somewhere in the middle. So, speed metal band, Redshark. Here we are. This is their material. Hopefully you can see that completely ridiculous artwork there. Let's get this a little bit closer. So Redshark, they currently have one album and a couple of EPs to their name. This is a compilation of the two EPs and a couple of singles titled Evil Realm and Reign of Destruction. Rain as in the weather, meteorological, rather than reign as a monarch. So, we have the EPs and we have the debut album, Digital Race. Completely mental artwork. The name is pretty random anyway, and the artwork is absolutely explosively mental. So, taking a look at their material, I think this band are something quite special. I think they are absolutely fantastic. Certainly with these EPs and singles, hopefully you can see the track list there. They really do wear their influences on their sleeve. You can hear exactly where they're coming from. The compilation starts with the most recent EP, which was the Evil Realm EP of 2019. This had the same vocalist who is singing on the Digital Race. Can't quite remember the names of the personnel involved here, but I'd probably struggle to pronounce. A little bit ignorant with my pronunciation of different names, but that aside, this EP, Evil Realm, is an absolute blinder. So this was 2019. Destroy What Destroys You. The opening track on that is an absolute ripper. It is a real thrashing number. It's heavy as you like. It's full of absolutely deliciously crunchy riffs. Really, really good stuff. The vocals throughout, certainly throughout that EP and the debut album, The Digital Race, fantastic. This guy has a top-notch voice, a really good heavy metal voice. He's a great vocalist. Killer solos on this track, and it is just an absolute ripper. It really does resonate with the sort of early Overkill, Anthrax sound. Just the riffs are so good, such crunch, such killer stuff there. Sentence to Kill, the second track there, it has a real distinct Accept feel. If you listen to the track Sentence to Kill, it has a lot of the Accept kind of stamp sound in there. They Accept, in my opinion, are always quite melodic. Heavy band, but they've got plenty of the dual guitars going, and it's got a whole sort of groove of its own, a very distinct identity, and you can hear traces of Accept's influence in Sentence to Kill. A great track, really good track. Burn Your Flag, the third track there, again, an absolute ripper that really does remind me of the early sort of era of Destruction, the German thrash metal band. Really distinct stuff, but a bloody great track. And if it's reminding you of destruction, then hey, that's no bad thing. Then we've got the beginning of Storm. Little bit of maybe a blip in translation there rather, but a great track. It's got it's almost got a bit of a Merciful Fate sort of hint in there. A little bit of a again with the Accept, but also Merciful Fate twang to it, and a good song, really good. That it's melodic, it's groovy. There's a lot going on. It's very fast stuff, but it's great, absolutely brilliant. Ticks all the boxes. There's even a little bit in there, a few moments where it did remind me of Iron Maiden's Seventh Son of a Seventh Son kind of era sound. Great stuff. Again, that's absolutely no bad thing. And the fifth track on the EP, Stronger Than Ever, again, a really good song. Very, very Maiden. It's firmly rooted in the Maiden influenced sound. You can definitely hear some Maiden in there. It's fast, it's furious, and the solo is certainly oozing with Maiden influence. So that is the Evil Realm 2019 EP. Absolute killer. Heavy speed metal ripper. An absolute stormer. We then have the 2016 single version of Destroy What Destroys You. Good song, very raw, very rough, very heavy, but it's just pure shred. It's not as polished or as traditionally heavy metal as the version that we get opening up the Evil Realm EP. But it's a good song to hear, certainly. You know, this is a good sort of collector's piece, really, filling in all the gaps. Onto the Reign of Destruction EP, which was 2016. It's a good EP, different vocals that are nowhere near as good as the current vocalist, definitely, but it's not bad. The songs themselves are really good. Lost in the Streets has a lot of different elements going on there, but a few things that I picked out were that there's definitely a Saxon influence there. There's a Saxon vibe, but there's also a sort of a Motorhead, very punky, raw attitude throughout the song. Good song, no doubt, but there's a lot going on there, and you get a little bit of different edge, where the Evil Realm EP was very, very thrashing. There's definitely a lot more thrashing riffs in this one compared to what's going on in here. There's a lot more different elements, but you get a punk and sort of Motorhead vibe for quite a few of these songs. Although Witch is a really good standout number, actually. That has a very Angel Witch. No coincidence, I don't know, but a very Angel Witch kind of edge to it. It did really remind me of that absolutely classic debut self-titled album. A few moments on there in Witch that really did remind me of that album, and no bad thing. What an absolutely legendary album, certainly going to have influenced a lot of people. And the solos, the guitar work on that particular track are brilliant, and no doubt at all. So on to Fight the Rules of Power. Again, that's a really solid track, a really heavy number. I do think if this EP had the current vocalist, that would have been just as good as Evil Realm, if not a little bit better. I don't know. They're both really great EPs. Very, very punky. There's certainly a weighty punk injection into that track, but it's very raw. It's very heavy. There's almost like a Venom vibe in the raw, heavily distorted riff, the sheer grit of the track. You definitely picked that up there. Well, I certainly did anyway. Then we have the last track on the Reign of Destruction EP, which is called On the Edge of War. which is a bloody good track. I think that's probably the best of that Reign of Destruction EP. And it's very heavy. It reminded me of Rage, German band, who again are a difficult band to place. Are they thrash? Are they heavy metal? Are they power metal? Are they speed metal? Who knows? But there's certain moments on that track that definitely reminded me very much of Rage. The leads and the solos though on this track, and most of them, are phenomenal. These guys are first class musicians, no doubt. Absolutely brilliant. Then closing off this nice little compilation, we have the Reign of Darkness single. Reign of Darkness? Reign of Destruction, the EP. Sorry, I do beg your pardon. Lights of Darkness. So you've got two versions of this song on this disc. The other version being on the Reign of Destruction EP. It's a good song. It's very primitive and it's very raw, and if it was just missed and the only version that you got was the one that you get on the Reign of Destruction EP, then you'd be quite happy. You don't necessarily need to hear that really rough, raw and ready version, but it's good. It's good. So this little collection of EPs and singles that you get here, really brilliant. If you like Maiden, if you like Motorhead, if you like Merciful Fate and Angel Witch, then this is a fantastic place for you to start. By the time we get to 2022, I believe it's 2022, annoyingly it doesn't say the year, but I'm pretty sure this was this year, the debut album, The Digital Race, this is a very different beast. This is speed metal, because it is an absolute fusion of heavy metal and thrash metal, at times blindingly fast and ripping, at times very melodic and groovy, plenty of rhythm in there. This album is very well produced, and I think this is a superb debut. So, kicking off the album, we have the Drill State, which is an absolute stormer, an absolutely blinding speed metal track, so much ripping, speed, attack in there, just really great stuff. Plenty of melody though, very melodic, the sort of stuff that you can headbang along to without, getting lost for pace because it's too technical. None of that, just very good stuff. Never Too Late is a really good heavy metal number. The second track there, a really good song. Again, the musicianship is great. Vocals are first class. Onto the title track, Digital Race. Very crunchy, very heavy, plenty of attitude in there. Just great riffs, really memorable. That's the thing with these releases, the EPs and this album, is it's all really really memorable stuff. You can really remember the songs even after you've listened to it just once. They really do stick in the mind. Arrival is a brief sort of Stranger Things theme, intro theme sounding piece. It's very strange, but then you get Mars Recall, which is again an absolute bruiser. It's a monumentally heavy track, blinding speed introduction there, really ripping stuff, very thrashy, and then it sort of blends into like a Judas Priest groove with the swaggering riffs. Really good stuff, really catchy, definitely very catchy, very plenty of melodic rhythms there, just really good stuff. Kill Your Idols, massively heavy, really good, very aggressive stuff. These songs are just blinders, actually. Death Rides Out, the Death Rides, I do beg your pardon. Really heavy track, again, very speed metal. The closing track, actually, is probably the standout on the album, I'm Falling. that is, well, how to describe it? It's a more of a traditional heavy metal song, in my opinion, than a thrashing speed track, but it's got a lot of emotion in there. It's got a lot of, it's very genuine. It's a very genuine track. It's heavy, it's fast, but it's very, very good. It's very good. It's instantly captivating. It's one of those tracks that really stands out. Great chorus in there, really memorable. Bypassed a couple of tracks actually. Burning Angels, the 8th track on the album, is probably the most unique track. I think that is Redshark really letting out their own identity, their own slant on things, rather than showing a lot of their influences. I think this is very different. It's got a very different taste to it, and it's a bloody great track. It's very new wave of British heavy metal, in terms of its structure and a lot of the riffs, definitely. The way the song flows, it does remind me of numerous different new tracks, but it's very, very good. It's very different. At times, it almost has a bit of a, dare I say, power metal kind of vibe to it. It's very, very unique. It's a great song. It's one of the standout moments, definitely. Very good stuff, but it's very interesting. There's a moment in the track where you've got synths, and it almost creates a bit of a soundscape in the background, layered, textured sound. And it really did remind me of Iron Maiden's Seventh Son. It's almost like a progressive edge to it. Great song though, really good track. The most different song though has to be the 9th track there, Pallid Hands, which is effectively the album's ballad, but the vocals are incredible. It's a very emotive track. It's very different. It's a really strong song. Not heavy, not overly heavy, but definitely it's full of emotion, and it's got some incredible vocals there. Absolutely brilliant stuff. So that's the debut, Digital Race. A really good tour de force of heavy metal, speed metal, with plenty of other little elements thrown in there. The musicianship is first class. I really rate these guys, I have to say, I really do. If you like some of the sort of, I guess, heavy metal, traditional heavy metal and speed metal revival bands that have been coming up and about in recent years, bands like Enforcer, this band, they will definitely tick the boxes for you. If you like the good traditional stuff, talking Maiden, Saxon, Priest, then definitely you need to check these guys out, because they are absolutely solid, and they just great musicians, and they absolutely kill it. Really good thrashy elements, really good traditional heavy metal elements rather, and it's just good heavy stuff. So if you like speed, like thrash, check them out. So there you have it. If you're a fan of the band, let me know. I'm interested, because I haven't seen or heard too many other people raving about Redshark, but they definitely bloody need to. Thank you for watching. Check out the band if you haven't already. Let me know what you think. If you like the video or the recommendation, like and subscribe would be much, much appreciated. Take care, my friends. Check back soon for more reviews and more recommendations. Stay heavy.